Are we on the air?
Ruh-roh. Hey, how's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we are back in the shop again today, working on this project. This is a VW to Honda V6 conversion. I'm going to be working on this today. I'm going to get the radiator mounted, get the water plumbing done, and get the motor mounts built. Other than that, we got, as you guys can see from the last update, the shop is full again, and we've got cars outside waiting, so it's definitely a busy time here at San Limo. Over on this side, that twin turbo GP105 car that I showed you guys earlier is actually being assembled right now. Joe's in here working on it, and it's in the final assembly stages. So motor's back in, new arms are on, the whole chassis powder coated, beautiful, like a matte black, and the arms are purple. It's got a black roof, all black water plumbing, black intercooler, or purple water plumbing, purple intercooler piping. So this is going to be really, really cool. That's kind of where we're at today. We're going to get back over to the other side and go work on that other car. So Joe's always in a great mood, man. It's always good to come in and brighten up your day. So yeah, guys, we're going to get to work on this thing. All right, so since this car was Volkswagen powered, it did not have a radiator in it. So we knocked a couple of bars out of here, moved the battery tray, made some room. We're going to go ahead and mount a radiator right off of this bar right here all the way across. So this is the radiator that we like to use with the Honda V6 swaps. It works really, really well. It's just an aluminum Grand Cherokee radiator, so it fits good, it works well, keeps the motor cool. It's got 3 fans. We're going to start putting the fans into the shroud and getting it all set up here. So I'm going to go ahead and get these boxes open, get the fans set. The fans, I set all 3 fans up here on the shroud, lined them all up, and then I just took the drill and I put a little, just started a little drill hole on each one, and then I pulled the fans off, and then I'm drilling the 4 holes to get them mounted. So we get these things mounted, we'll get this protector shield peeled off and get this thing mounted on the radiator. All right, so as you guys can see from the time lapse, we've got the fans all in, got the holes drilled, got them all bolted up, tightened up. and we're ready to put this on the radiator. So it's quite a bit of cooling for that little radiator, which is great. These things work out really, really good. Like I said earlier, this is a Jeep Grand Cherokee radiator. Works very, very well for Honda V6 swaps. So we're gonna go grab some hardware, get this thing bolted on this radiator, and try to get it mocked in the car. All right, guys, so we got the shroud mounted up to the radiator, and we're gonna go ahead and walk over to the car and get it mocked in. Special thanks to our boys over at Champion Cooling Systems over in Lake Elsinore. They hooked us up with this fine unit. So yeah, we're gonna go walk over to the car and get her mocked up. The radiator sitting on top of the car. I got the face of it all taped off with some cardboard so we don't mess the fins up when we're mocking this thing in. But yeah, guys, here we go. We're gonna get it mocked in and start getting some brackets built to get this thing mounted today. So we got our bar welded in, like you guys saw, and we got the radiator kind of just sitting up in there and mocked. We went over to the fab shop and whipped up these little pieces. So what we do with these is you fish mouth one end, and then in the top side right there, turn this welder off. We got a bushing. We just fit this bushing right into the top. Yeah, so anyways, there. Push the bushing into the top, and then this will get welded to the top of that bar like that, and then our radiator sits, the posts in the bottom sit right into there. And then we'll make a bracket that comes from here. We'll weld the tab here and we'll bolt it up right here for the top support. So that way we don't have to run a support bar all the way across. So should be pretty quick and simple. We'll get this thing mounted up and then we can start working on the water plumbing. So what I did a minute ago was when I had the radiator sitting there, you could see the post sticking out of the bottom. So I took a Sharpie and I just marked that, and that'll give me the center line where that's gonna weld. So we'll sit those right up on there, sit that one right over there, and then our radiator will literally sit down into these posts. All right, so as you can see, we got the radiator mounted. It's all just tacked up. We got some tabs made. We're gonna torch this paint off. We'll get these tabs welded up, and this thing will be all mounted up and ready to go. Pretty basic, nice and easy to do. And yeah, we'll start working on the water plumbing. All right, guys, so we're working on the water plumbing now. What we're doing is we're making a bunch of spuds and putting a bead roll in the end of them. So that way when we cut our U-bends, they're already spudded out. So like this one will sit in here. That's gonna get a hose clamp right here. And then this will get TIG welded to a U-bend, which will go down there. I'm gonna put a spud out here and a spud out there. That way we can measure our tubing and get all the water plumbing TIG welded up. So we got another spud cut, and we need to deburr it, because if you try to stick this in there with that burr in there, it will break the bead roller. So we're gonna deburr this with a triangle file. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Make sure you get all the sharp edges out. All right, that's done. Stick that piece on our bead roller. Drop it on the floor. All right, I'm gonna stick that in the bead roller. Let me snug it up real quick. So there it's in the bead roller like that. We're gonna hold pressure on this side, and we're gonna crank this and get a bead roll, but I can't do it with one hand, so hold on a second. All right, guys, so we gave her a few cranks, tightened it up, gave her a few more cranks. There's our finished product. Nice bead roll. That way the hose clamp doesn't slip past that. So we got to go make one more of these, and then we can get to cutting our U-bends and get ready to have the fab man come over here and TIG weld this stuff for us. All right, so I had Fab over here helping me get these U-bends cut straight, tacked in. So there's the plumbing for the downside. And then here's our plumbing setup for the other side, for the upside. So we're gonna get a piece, get it TIG welded in here, and then everything should be good to go. All right, guys, so we got our pipe out, water plumbing. We're gonna go put it over here on the workbench and let Mr. Fabulous TIG that thing up. Then we'll get the other side out and we'll get it TIGged up as well. Then the water plumbing will be done. We can do the final welding on the radiator. Everything's tacked in, and radiator be installed, water plumbing done. All right. So now that we got all the plumbing over here on the TIG table, because we tacked it with a MIG, we'll go ahead and take a saw flapper and we just knock down the tips a little bit of the MIG. That way when they get TIGged, they look all nice and pretty. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now, and then Joe's gonna come over here and TIG all this up. All right, so now that we got all that done, we're gonna move on to motor mounts. So what I do is take some OEM Honda 14mm bolts, stick them in here. We cut some 1-inch spuds just out of 3/4 inch, and then we'll make a T across here, and then we'll come down and we'll make these tabs. We'll weld these tabs to the chassis after I round them off, and then we'll make this all out of 3/4. So we'll make the motor mounts on both sides. All right, so we did the same thing on this side. We got 2 spuds here that we just cut out of 3/4. We'll put a crossbar in here, and then another one that comes down. We'll put a crossbar and then probably 2 bars that come down to another crossbar that fits up for the, we're gonna weld some tabs here for the motor mounts. Cool thing is, to get this motor out, it's gonna be really easy. We've able to retain the stock rear removable engine cage for this car, so it'll pull out here. We had to move this bar down. We'll weld this one in, and then we made the top bars removable, so we'll get those welded in too. So you'll be able to remove the lower engine cage and pull this top bar off, and then the motor will just slide right out the back. Really, really easy. So that's kind of the idea, is to, when you're doing conversions like this, is to make them simple and easy as possible, make them user friendly. So this one's coming out real good, and it's just about done. All right, so I cut another spud about 2.5 inches long. I got these tabs rounded off. That setup's gonna weld right there, and then we'll run a bar up and then T across there, and then there's our motor mount. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'll get some tabs together, get them set up here, and we'll run another bar up across here, and the motor mounts will be done. All right, so just like on the other side, got these tabs built up with a spud in the middle. We'll roll these out, however we need to, and that's gonna come straight up here to a crossbar that's in there. Kind of like a dog bone. So that's it, easy Honda motor mounts. So we got most of the fab work done on this car now. We just got some final welding to do. I think Fab's gonna handle that stuff for me. So like I said, we're gonna weld up the radiator mounts. We got the bar done, radiators installed, the water plumbing's on the TIG table, ready to go, and the motor mounts are gonna be finished. So we'll get the back half of this thing welded, and this car will be ready for wiring. So this thing's getting real close, and I'm sure it's gonna be another happy customer. So yeah, man, Volkswagen to Honda V6 swap. Honda swap the world. All right, guys, well, unfortunately I forgot to shoot an outro when I was at the shop, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe,
And don't forget to click the notification bell. You know, I got a lot of cool content coming up. Glamis season's just about to start, so we'll be filming at the shop every day that we're there, and trying to do daily uploads from the shop, which will be pretty cool. So again, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next